hardest part of this whole job is getting this fan clutch off. And as you can tell on this model, it's held on by just a big old nut looking deal. And some clutches are held onto the water pump by 4 bolts, and those are really easy to replace. This one, however, you can either buy the tool, or if you have a big enough wrench, but by the time you bolt the fan on right here and your water pump pulley extends out a little bit past it, you have to have a thin line wrench, and a lot of people aren't going to go buy the tool just for one time. And I employ a method that even Brian Mobile One recommends using. He uses it like a punch and a chisel, or like an air hammer or something like that. And basically what I do is I take my air hammer, whoops, excuse the straps there, I'm trying to do this, it's kind of hard to film this on a tripod, but get you an air hammer. It don't have to be a real expensive one. With the punch tip, I like to grind it down to a point, and you just go in here and you just make an indention, and once that indention's made, you can go ahead and pour the coal to it. Be careful not to go, straight down on it, because you could possibly damage the bearings in the water pump. But just lightly tap it, and lightly, this gun has a very good trigger on it, and it goes from 0 almost to nothing to wide open. That's a badass gun. But just be careful and use caution. Wear your safety glasses. And I'm going to try to spin this old one off here in just a second. I went ahead and removed the air filter and the air filter box and hose assembly off of the throttle body right there. It gives a little bit better access to the fan clutch. I'm going to zoom in on it here if I can. What you want to do is take your air hammer and just making a little indention. Sometimes that's all it takes. I think I got it. Let me turn this fan blade with my hand. See if that turns. Yeah, that's loose. Okay. Now, since we got that part of it loose, now, since this is a Ford, the fan shroud is held on all the way across here with these little push caps. You have to get all this whole top shroud off. You have to remove your jack rod here, and the fan clutch and fan assembly and blower shroud will all come out at one time. If you don't have this little body clip remover, I'm going to do a tool review on this. I bought this off the Snap-on truck as a body clip remover, but however, I use it to remove and install fuel filters on small engines, and I'm going to show you how I use that tool for that. That'll be another video. But to be able to use this tool, I'll show you what it does, and it works great for this application as well. Basically, you just want to go up underneath the body clip and it should pry that out of there. These are tough, and sometimes you'll break them to get them out. They should pop out just like that. The fan shroud is held on with 2 8mm bolts, one right here, and there's one on the opposite side. Just take those loose, and you can cam this backwards enough to get to the fan now, right here. And just go ahead and unscrew it all the way. And it may fall. Don't let it get into the radiator and damage anything. It's getting there. I can feel it get real loose. Come Come on, baby. There it goes. Okay, now that's loose. We're going to raise the fan shroud and the fan clutch out at the same time. Careful not to lose any gaskets or anything that might come off. Now what you've got here is a cluster. Okay. Keep in mind that this is the factory unit, and they're physically different in size, but that shouldn't matter. I've looked it up. I've been to several different auto parts stores. I've got all the same dimensions off of this new one and off of the old one to the new one. You can tell it's quite a bit bigger, and everybody assures me that this one will fit. So we'll get that one put on, get it put back together, and we'll see how it turns out. Basically, it's just a matter of removing the attaching bolts. It's just 4 of them. They're 1/2 inch. As you can tell, this one's locked up. Remove the fan. Slide that one out of the way. Slide the new one in. Set it right back down on it. Tighten the bolts. Everything seems to fit okay. I don't think the size of the fan has anything to do with it. Not the fan, the clutch doesn't have any load-bearing surfaces here, only mounts there, so the sheer size of it, that may be the reason that the factory one lasted almost 300,000 miles. It's just built better. I could have went back with a factory one. They were about $200 from Ford. This is a Hayden unit from Rock Auto. $40. I may be sorry, and I may not be. Talked to a couple of mechanic friends that I work with, and they use Hayden and all the time, so you don't have to kill these bolts, just torque them down. I'm using a 1/4 inch ratchet. That should be plenty right there. You don't have to. You can just about feel it when it stops. Get everything kind of situated how they need to go. Pay attention to how this goes on. Go like this. Remember, it's just held on by 2 bolts, and it just basically sandwiches or cams down in right here. Get your fan, set it in there, get everything slid down. Help if I put it in correctly. Go ahead and feed the fan on best you can by hand. and when it stops right there, we're going to take the air hammer, we're going to bump it a couple times to tighten it up. Just give it a couple of raps. This should be plenty. Pretty much concludes how to install that fan clutch. Just basically, you know, reinstall your air filter back where it needs to go. Hook up your hoses and put your air filter back in, and tell you what, we'll crank it up and see what it sounds like here in just a second. I'm gonna do a cold start and see what this thing does. One thing you don't want to do is have that nut run itself off and then it gouges into the radiator. It flew off because it's not tight enough. But if you have any questions about this 4.2 liter V6 on a, I'm going to say probably 1997-ish through 2005 4.2s, should have all the same clutch and things like that. Anyway, y'all have a good, hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, and have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you later. More Medic 1. Have a good day.